Juan Soto, one swing of the bat, takes the lead for the Yankees in the 10th inning, a 3-run home run. Hunter Gaddis wanted to get the pitch up high, didn't get it up high enough, and it's high and gone to right. Look at the emotion from Juan Soto, the first extra inning homer by a Yankee since Raul Ibanez in 2012. Oh, I was at that game. It's against the Orioles. That was dramatic. Thing is, my team is the Guardians, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to be a sore loser. Congrats to the Yankees. What a series this was. Are you kidding me? 4-1. You'd think it went at least 6 or 7 by all the drama that we had. They went to extras in Game 3. It went the way of the Guardians. Game 5, the closeout game, it turns out to be goes the way of the Yankees, and they are on to the World Series as they win the AL pennant for the 41st time in franchise history, and now a chance to win ring number 28. Wow. Back here on CBS Sports HQ, presented by the Home Depot. This Game 5 ALCS recap is presented by the Home Depot. David Samson, former Marlins president, won a World Series with the club in 2003. Wow. What a series. What a swing by Juan Soto. The 7th pitch of the at-bat. It was the only fastball he saw. He took care of it.
And keep in mind, the only reason Juan Soto was at the plate is that the Guardians defense made an error.
They did.
On a pretty simple double play ball, there was a bit of a fumble, and all of a sudden Soto has to get to the plate, and Gaddis went at him and finally gave in and gave him a fastball. Here's the thing about this series. The Guardians with the best bullpen in all of baseball.
Yep.
Since February.
Yep.
March, April, keep going. June, July, August, keep going. Until October, and it fell apart for them, and they faced a team with the lineup like the Yankees, and it was just too much. In a 5-game series, which, as we said, was competitive as though it went 7, the real difference in the series is what the Yankee lineup was able to do against the Guardian bullpen. Staggering. So give credit to them for their approach, for their patience, and everything they did to get 4 victories in 5 games. What a remarkable series.
Yankees bullpen went 5 1/3 in Game 5. 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. Luke Weaver hadn't had a save in his MLB career until September. He emerges as the closer, takes over for Clay Holmes. Didn't get the save here, gets the win in extra innings. But that was a turning point of the season for New York.
I think it's so important to talk about this because Clay Holmes was the closer, and he was getting booed out of New York. He was blowing more saves than anyone in baseball. They were despondent, so they bring in Luke Weaver, who he's a journeyman. Let's face it. Let's call him what he's been. Except with the Yankees, they put him into the closer's role in September, and it became part of a lockdown bullpen, which is shocking to me because then Holmes gets backed up, and he has been impactful, coming in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, giving you more than 1 inning. So it seems as though they've lined up their bullpen well, but still not as good as the Guardians' bullpen in theory. But in this series, Stanton and Soto proved to be too much for the Guardians pitching staff.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton homers 4 times in this series, tied the game up with 1 swing of the bat to make it 2-2 in the top of the 6th. 117. How's your exit velo? That was on a 3-2 pitch. It was a slider that was hung, and that was gone. And you talk about what he has done in Yankee postseason history. He has 16 homers. That's the 4th most career postseason homers in Yankee franchise history. That passes Aaron Judge and a guy named Babe Ruth. I mean, that's a massive accomplishment for Giancarlo Stanton. He's only behind Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, and Mickey Mantle as you take a look at the list here. I mean, this is his first World Series appearance, and he had said all this, we haven't done anything. He kept saying it to everybody. We haven't done anything. And they would ask him throughout the season, what's it like watching Aaron Judge? He says he's on another planet. He's playing another game. He's like a computer. That's what they used to say about Giancarlo Stanton. He was creative player. That's the joke about Giancarlo Stanton when he was with the Marlins, creative player. Now he has been this complimentary role, and look, You could like the guy, hate the guy, whatever, but he showed up in the biggest moments for the Yankees.
So Giancarlo Stanton put his $325 million where his mouth is. And when we signed him to that contract all those years ago, he was very clear what he wanted. Yes, he wanted to break the record at that time and have security, but he wanted to win. He's wanted to win the World Series, not the pennant. We're going to get to that, but he's not satisfied by any stretch. He wants to win the World Series, and he goes about his business. The Yankee fans, so maligned. They've been booing him. They're all over him for what happens during the regular season. But this is what Stanton's been. Even in our MVP year, when he won the MVP for me in 2017, there were periods when he wasn't locked in. But when he is locked in, he's simply impossible to get out. And when you look at the at-bat for the tying home run, one mistake, and every at-bat there's one mistake, Hakeem. And when Stanton's locked in, he takes advantage of the one mistake. And he is now going to keep himself hot, because when he's on a bender like this, it lasts for a couple weeks, and all he has to do is last for 4 more victories.
Well, usually when you hang it against G, he bangs it. You hang it, you bang it. That's what's going to happen with Giancarlo Stanton. Sometimes he'll have a big swing and a miss, but when he connects, I mean, it is raw power. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton among the players on this team going to their first World Series. This moment feels like what? Because you have had that emotion. You have been in this position before.
I'm emotional about it because of Giancarlo and because of what he feels and how he feels and the fact that he likely should be and will be and is the MVP. Think about what he did to perform at the stage that he wanted to be on so badly. Think about Aaron Boone, who everyone called, including me, on Nothing Personal and here at CBS saying, you know what? He should be let go. And guess what Booney has done? He has made the right decisions along with Brian Cashman, also maligned because he hasn't been to the World Series since 2009. But they were able to put the right pieces together. And it wasn't just Soto. It wasn't just Judge. It wasn't just Rizzo. Look at the names of the bullpen guys. Half the baseball fans never heard of them. And they were able, including Luke Weaver.
Well, Mark Leiter Jr. just joined the squad
2 days ago.
So just, I mean, for injury replacement. So
think about that.
Jake Cousins was fantastic.
Well, Cousins came in today and was really the difference in the game.
Yeah.
What he was able to do, getting the 4 strikeouts. But what happened with Stanton, tying home run, but then the Soto at bat, I just want to give a shout out, and we're going to get to it, I'm sure, but what the Guardians have done, their defense and pitching carried them, but it just let them down today.
Yeah, 92 wins. They won the division in Stephen Vogt's first season, so a tip of the cap to my hometown club. They made everybody proud in Cleveland. Didn't have Shane Bieber for the season. Didn't get what they wanted out of Tristan McKenzie. Probably needed another bat, even though they got Lane Thomas at the deadline. They just come up short. But the bottom line is here, and people outside of Cleveland and Kansas City and Detroit, this was for the Yankees taking. We can't sit here and go, wow, we're surprised the Yankees in the World Series. This was set up for the Yankees to get to the World Series. You got to go out and do it. I get that. But it's not a surprise that the Yankees are playing for their 28th championship right now.
I would like to say that anyone who's going to go public saying that it was an easy path to get by Kansas City, to get by Cleveland, I vociferously disagree with that. Having been in the postseason, there is no easy path to victory. It doesn't matter who you're playing. The Guardians were a really tough opponent, and while the box score will show that they won 4 out of 5, what people will know by watching these games and being a part of this series is every game was tight, and the Yankees had to make plays to win. They didn't just show up and make the World Series. Otherwise, they would have been in the World Series every year with the type of payroll they run. But this combination of players, and I even shout out to the addition of Jazz Chisholm, someone who I also criticized, but he came to the Yankees, and Judge and Stanton have mentored him, and he has contributed with his energy. He's played a new position, and he will be going to the World Series for the first time, obviously, in his young career. So many stories around this Yankee club. Very, very happy and proud of them tonight.
So if you're the Yankees, who do you want to play? They went 1-2 against the Dodgers in the regular season, got swept by the Mets. I mean, they got run out of the building against their crosstown rivals in the Subway Series. We could have another Subway Series, which would be the second all-time in World Series history. We know how that ended in 2000 with the Yankees winning that series. That was highlighted by Roger Clemens and Mike Piazza getting into it in Game 2. Or you have the historic World Series matchup. They've met 11 times, Dodgers and Yankees, a lot of them coming when they were in Brooklyn. So who do you want to play if you are the New York Yankees?
2003, we're on the team bus pulling into the airport in Chicago. The Yankees and Red Sox are playing a Game 7. I'm rooting for the Yankees. Why? We don't know if we're flying to New York or to Boston for Game 1 of the World Series. The reason why I'm rooting for Aaron Boone to hit a homer off Wakefield, I want to beat the best. I want to beat the Yankees. If you are the Yankees, you can't lose. Either you beat the Mets, which is #1 on the agenda of the Steinbrenner family for the past 50 years, or you beat the Dodgers, who's #1A on your agenda of an organization that you want to beat to win the World Series. It is a no-lose. If you're Stanton, you want to go west, you want to go home, and you want to beat the Dodgers. If you're an East Coast player, boy, do you want to beat those Mets. So the Yankees in general, from a travel standpoint, it's way better to sleep in your own bed the whole time.
And true. In fact, it is. So if it's the Dodgers, that means the Yankees would go to L.A. for Games 1 and 2. If it's the Mets that are able to come back in this series, well, it would be in New York for Games 1 and 2 at Yankee Stadium.
And the benefit of winning, we talked about this before the game. It's so important for the Yankees to have closed out tonight because Game 1 of the World Series is not until Friday.
Correct.
So today is Saturday. They have now 6 days off where they can rest, they can work out, they can get the bullpen in line, they get their rotation in line, so Cole can go Game 1. Everything works out better by ending the series as quickly as possible, which is why tonight's game was, I felt, a must-win for the Yankees, and they were able to pull through.
Yankees looking to be rested and ready when Game 1 of the World Series begins on Friday. They earn their 41st AL pennant back in the World Series for the first time since 2009, thanks in part to Juan Soto, a free agent in the offseason. Will they have him next season? Nobody cares right now. If they win a World Series, probably a pretty good selling point to bring him back. But right now, at this point, Juan Soto making history, the first extra inning homer by a Yankee since Raul Ibanez in 2012. Juan Soto and the Yankees headed back to the World Series.